All right, we told you at the outset here that the president has decided not to go to Joe Biden's inauguration in 12 days. My next guest probably says, well, that's a good thing. And she's a Republican. Representative Nancy Mace caught in the middle of all of that. She was arriving after being elected to Congress from South Carolina. I believe you were with your daughters, Congresswoman, and you had an eerie feeling about what was to go down, and it proved prescient. Could you tell us about it? Very good to have you.
Yes, Neil, good to see you. Yes, I brought my two children here this weekend for my swearing in. It was a historic moment. It was a huge moment in my life, and it's a huge honor to represent South Carolina's 1st Congressional District. But by the end of the weekend, after swearing in Sunday night, seeing the rhetoric, some of the things that were being said online and on social media, I felt very uncomfortable looking at the week ahead. And my kids, because of COVID-19, they aren't able to go to school. They're doing virtual school. And so they pack their backpacks, their computers, their textbooks, notebooks, pens, paper, pencils, so they could stay the week with me and roam the halls of Congress and do virtual school in my office. And Sunday night, I said, guys, I love you, but I'm worried about Wednesday, and I'm putting you on the first flight home tomorrow on Monday. And that's what I did. And thank God I did. I would have been devastated if they were here and witnessed what I witnessed on Wednesday night.
You know, it must be a smart woman because you got elected in the first place against all odds, so touche for you to that. But what were you sensing, Congresswoman? Because the big speech came, midweek, and then we know what happened after that when the president urged those same followers to march on the Capitol. So that was before all of that. What were you sensing? What were you worrying about?
The anger that I was seeing, the words that I was seeing, the rhetoric, and if you read between the lines or even sometimes literally some of the things that I was seeing being posted online by politicians, by folks who are part of that movement, it was worrisome. And what folks don't realize is that sometimes people take our words quite literally. There was someone who threatened me online, threatened to shoot me on social media. On Tuesday night, I was going out to grab supper, and I was accosted by someone on a street outside in public in D.C. And I just finally said enough is enough, and I put my foot on the ground. I think it's really incumbent upon us to set a better example for the country, not only for Republicans, but we've been dealing with violence for the last 9 months across the nation. We've been seeing cities being burned down, but as a Republican, I just had to say no. Violence is only going to beget more violence, and it's incumbent upon us to show some leadership here to get our nation out of this crisis.
The president is not going to Joe Biden's inauguration. I don't think that warrants a Fox alert, Congresswoman, but how do you feel about that and how it looks? Or is it maybe, given these volatile, polarizing times, it might be for the better?
I do think it is for the best, unfortunately. I'm devastated by it right now. I supported the president. He supported me when I ran for Congress. I was one of the earliest staffers on his campaign in 2016 in South Carolina. I believed in everything all of the great accomplishments that he's had over the last 4 years. But all of that was truly wiped out on Wednesday, and we have to rebuild our nation and rebuild our party. I want to ensure that the inauguration on January 20th is a safe one. People ought not to fear for their lives when they're attending an event or going to work. I've got to go home tonight, and I can't wait to see my kids and tell them I love them, put my arms around them and hug them. But I've got to reassure them that when Mom goes to work next time I'm in D.C., that I'm not going to be in great danger. And we've just got to set a better example for everyone in this country. And I'm urging everyone in Congress, whether they're Republican or Democrat, to stop with the divisive rhetoric. This rhetoric has real consequences, and we saw the fruit of that this week. We've seen the fruit of that all across the country in these cities where Antifa thugs and far leftists have been burning them down, burning businesses and hurting people all across the nation. And it's time to come together and to say enough is enough.